Hello everyone, welcome to Happy Science Meditation Seminar. I'm Bobby Mai, Minister of Happy Science. Today's subject is right effort toward the mind of God. We have been studying Eightfold Path, and today's topic is right effort. Right effort means to make efforts on the right way. And Buddhism attaches great importance of making right efforts on what is referred to as the path. In the previous seminar, I mentioned efforts in self-help of right thought. Although they may partially overlap, efforts in self-help of right thought refer to a general attitude, while right effort is a little more concrete and specific. What is required here is to question what attitude is essential for a true seeker after enlightenment. Right effort should be, above all, understood as devotion to the path. It does not mean to make efforts in one's business. It is to make right efforts to get closer to God. It applies to business. It would mean working with the purpose of building a utopia or actualization of God's mind. That will be the prerequisite for right effort. There are also several criteria for right effort. How do you determine whether or not you are making right efforts along the path? What are your criteria? Here, I would like you to re-examine the meaning of discipline. In the last seminar, I introduced the philosophy of human perfection, in which I attempt to explain how difficult it is to walk the path toward enlightenment. The path is open to everyone, and it is possible for anyone to attain certain level of enlightenment momentarily, but it is hard to maintain. That is enlightenment. You have to awaken to the fact that the most crucial point of enlightenment lies in its maintenance. Of course, it is difficult to enter enlightenment, but what is more difficult lies in how to keep it up. This can be explained as follows. No matter how many people attain enlightenment for only a certain period of time, or for a day or two, the world will not change for the better at all. It is only after you maintain it for 10 or 20 years that you can truly internalize it. Therefore, always bear in mind that anything easily attained is totally alien to enlightenment. Therefore, please recognize that studying the truth means you have merely stood at the entrance to enlightenment, and does not mean that you have attained enlightenment. If you misunderstand this point, you will degenerate in a moment or within a single day. Please keep this well in mind. To become the member does not prove or guarantee that you will be born as an angel in heaven. It is just means that you are standing at the gate to enlightenment. In this sense, learning God's truth and the results you acquired through it can be a platform ticket, but not the passenger ticket to enlightenment. You cannot attain enlightenment so easily. A person who is called enlightened must have unshakable mind for 10, 20 years, or all through his life, and must be sure that he can live with that level of mind under whatever circumstances he may be placed in. Only when one has successfully left certain achievements in the course can that person be called enlightened. Just standing at the entrance to enlightenment is a totally different matter. It is quite impossible to accomplish it in a year or two. Nobody could have attained enlightenment in such a short period of time. This is the premises. Some may have stood at the entrance. Others may have started walking the path. However, there is no one who has attained enlightenment. You need to continuously make as much effort as necessary for that purpose. Even if you have reached a certain level of mind, if you tumble down through a change of circumstances, you were just at such a level. You may be able to maintain a certain level of mind because you have no trouble or worries now. However, you will encounter quite a different environment in the course of maintaining your state of mind. If you fail to overcome it, your enlightenment will be easily shattered. That often takes place. Now, let us watch Master Oka's lecture titled The Method of Spiritual Concentration, which describes about spiritual training for your enlightenment. If you want to obtain enlightenment, you are supposed to make efforts of practicing this discipline. Please watch.
Today, I'd like to talk about the basic steps of meditation that are most frequently used in our seminars. So far, we have practiced meditations in a chair, which is not the traditional way. But today, I'd like to talk about how to meditate sitting on the floor. The Buddhist teachings have the basic principle called three Dharma seals. They are the three teachings of impermanence, egolessness, and nirvana. These are considered the slogan or motto of Buddhist teachings. When you study the three teachings, they eventually lead you to meditation practice. Firstly, impermanence teaches that everything in this life changes. Everything transforms over time. Nothing can remain the same. We are born as babies, grow and age, maybe fall ill and die. After we die, our bodies are cremated and become ashes. Everything changes. As cherry blossoms bloom and fall, all things change shape over the course of time. This is the teaching of impermanence. Like the flow of a river, nothing can remain the same. What this means is that since everything is like water flowing in a river, even if you drive a stake into the middle of the river and try to cling to it, you won't be able to hold on. So no matter how hard you try to preserve the present circumstances, your social status, prestige or position, all of them will change year after year. People around you also change. No matter how hard you try, you cannot keep things the way they are forever. The same is true of our appearances. Even the most attractive person will eventually age and grow old. At some point, hair starts to fall out and turns grey. This teaching tells us not to be attached to the things of this world. The next teaching is egolessness. This teaches that everything that exists in this world does not last forever. Nothing is eternal or immortal. Not one thing in this world is indestructible. And everything that exists will have an end. Everything perishes. Even the hardest granite is eventually worn down into sand until it completely loses shape. In the same way, our bodies, our homes, even the strongest of fortresses, will eventually weather and crumble into ruins. So nothing in this world is substantial. Everything eventually disintegrates and disappears. We can think of the teaching of impermanence from a temporal point of view, while egolessness from a spatial point of view. Then we must ask, how do we reawaken that true self while we live in the world where nothing is substantial both in temporal and spatial senses? This is when we must calm our minds. The delusions that come from our ego are the very causes for the burning anguish that our minds experience in this world. It is our selfish desires, our pride, and craving for material objects. This is the origin of our suffering. We become trapped like prisoners and tortured by our attachment. We must realize this truth. Therefore, the main problem is that you are suffering because you are trying to obtain things that are eternal and indestructible while they don't exist. So do not suffer because of those things. Remember, all things will vanish. Even your body that you think is yourself is not actually yours. It will eventually perish. If there's anything eternal, that is the quiet state of mind that is free from the ego. It is a peaceful state of mind, and the mind that is still. This state of mind does not belong to the three-dimensional world, but it belongs to the real world. That is your true selves. But this state of nirvana can be achieved in this world too by practicing meditation. After we truly master impermanence and egolessness, we blow out the flames of our worldly desires, and we achieve a state of tranquility. This is your state of mind that you will find when you are in the real world. The purpose of meditation is really this state of blissful tranquility. However, you must first erase worldly attachments. Next, begin to concentrate your mind, taking the right posture. Then, you will begin to find a transparent self. your mind gradually becomes as calm as the surface of a lake, then you will achieve a state you will find in the real world. This is a method of concentrating the mind. The three Dharma seals are the way to reach that kind of state of mind. It's not the teaching that people should simply be satisfied by studying it. But from a practical point of view, it leads to the discipline of meditation. You are surrounded and influenced by the worldly vibration of this world. Naturally, your vibrations are also very rough, so you must first isolate yourself and quiet your mind. As often said in Zen, when you awake, you only take up half a tatami mat space. When you sleep, you are allowed one mat space. It doesn't matter if there's anyone next to you. You exist only in your own individual world. You must absorb yourself into your own world. This is the important thing.
How was the lecture? This method leads you to the enlightenment. For the beginning, let us practice self-reflection first. Let us try. Now let us practice self-reflection on right effort. Please check 2 points as follows. First, what is your biggest shortcoming? What is your biggest shortcoming? Where does that shortcoming come from? What kind of problems happened as a result of the shortcoming? Second, what kind of effort is needed in order to overcome it? What kind of effort is needed in order to overcome it? Acknowledge your shortcoming and think how you would overcome it by using Buddha's truth that you have been studying. Please check on 2 points. Please begin. How was the self-reflection on right effort? Now we will practice meditation as mentioned in the Master Oka's lecture, the method of spiritual concentration. Shall we try? So please sit in the chair or sofa, wherever you want. Please relax yourself. That is the point. So let us start with the breathing technique. Now take some deep breaths. Breathe deeply. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe deeply. Now we'll practice the method of spiritual concentration. Close your eyes lightly. Relax your neck and shoulder. Now in this meditation style, try to practice achieving egolessness. Just like the teaching of the impermanence of all things and the egolessness of all phenomena, you essentially have no ego. Nothing is of your possession. The ego, who is clinging to worldly attachment, is not your essential self. The essential self is a child of Buddha, child of God, and it is light. It is power that has no form. It is energy. That is your essential self. Your essential self is not this physical body, which has a head, arms, and legs. You essentially have no self, and nothing belongs to you. Therefore, we have no attachments. So the flames of our worldly desire cannot burn. All is peaceful. Now, please begin practicing the state of egolessness. Now we will enter into the state of no will, no thought, that is free of all will and all thoughts. The state of no will, no thought is a state of egolessness. Maintain the state of egolessness and advance further to a state of no mind. You have no mind and no physical body. Even if lightning strikes, you don't feel anything. No body and no spirit, no will and no thoughts. Throw away all thoughts, think of nothing, and enter the state of freedom from all will and all thought. Now, stay as you are and listen for the words of the guardian spirit and accept them. Listen for the guardian spirit's words inside your heart. You will hear their advice to you, sounding in your heart. Listen quietly to these words. Please end your meditation and open your eyes. This is the method of spiritual concentration. Please practice every day with self-reflection. This is the conclusion of the right effort. I am really hoping you to practice self-reflection and encounter your true self as your mission of the life. Dark world, dark era, dark time is coming soon. Therefore, we have to cleanse our mind and receive the light to shine the world with the inner light. Self-reflection is the method to cleanse your mind and brightly shining the light to other people. In order to brighten up the world, cleanse your mind first and receive the light of the God. Then you can deliver the light to the people. You are going to be the lighthouse. In a dark place, in a dark night, in a dark world, you are the guidepost. You are the lighthouse to lead the people to the right direction. You will be the hope of the world. So please practice meditation, self-reflection every day to obtain your enlightenment. That is the point of right efforts. Thank you very much for joining us today. So let us keep practicing Eightfold Path. I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.